What's happening, Bandit Land? What's happening, Bills Mafia? Ryan Thomas here for a special afternoon edition, Monday edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. I wanted to hop on here and recap the action that was the weekend. Of course, I got very sunburned over the course of this weekend, and I'm happy about it because that means I was outside, I was going to local events, taking part in some community stuff, and was really excited to have the weekend that we had. Weather-wise, summer, I think, is about to be here. It feels like the summer weather is here sooner than the first official day of summer, but nonetheless, back-to-back really awesome days for the city of Buffalo. The Buffalo Bandits repeat as NLL champions. Of course, this was something that I talked about last week, hoping that the Buffalo Bandits can get that done. The repeat was something that, many of the players, felt like it was possible. The Bandits had been to the last two NLL finals. They lost the first one a couple years back against the Colorado Mammoth. And then last year, they avenged that loss by beating the Colorado Mammoth in Buffalo in Game 3 as that series was split. I was there. It was great. It was great to see a Buffalo sports team fulfill their goal of winning a championship. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there for their championship on Friday. I was able to watch it, though, due to my ESPN Plus subscription, and it was awesome. Awesome to see Bandit Land, 19,070 seats filled with Buffalo Bandits fans. And I'm sure there were some Albany Firewolves fans out there too. Shout out to them. They had a great season, but really awesome to see the Buffalo Bandits achieve what they had set out to achieve in repeating, and not just repeating, but doing so when plenty of other people in the NLL coverage landscape felt like the Bandits were not going to accomplish that. They were the fourth seed. There were some games that they had early in the season where they just didn't look like they had that same fire, looked like that little bit of that proverbial Super Bowl hangover at points in the season. But they were always able to get past the Toronto Rock. Two of the three losses that the Rock suffered were against the Bandits, and I was at one of them, which was great. So great to see the Bandits repeat. And to be honest with you, the main reason why I feel like this is such an important topic to discuss is not just because a Buffalo team won their championship, but because the experience that I have had going to Bandits games. I hadn't been to one in a really long time. I was finally able to make it out last season to a game, and then I went to their championship winning game against Colorado. And the experience is, safe to say, a great experience. There is really nothing like it outside of flashbacks that I get when I would go to hockey games when the Sabres were really, really, really good, scary good, as RJ once famously said. It makes me feel like I'm more starved for the Sabres to get back in their building and get it rocking again. It seems like it's been a long time. It has been a long time since the Sabres have made the playoffs, but more so it's been a long time since the Sabres have really rocked the house, really rocked their arena to the point where I feel like my feet are shaking underneath me as I'm just sitting in my seat. So this was a great moment for Buffalo fans to enjoy. Then you piggyback off of that, celebrating the fact that the Buffalo Bandits are now six-time NLL champions. Six-time NLL champions. That's a feat in its own right. No other team has had that many from what I've looked at over the last 30 years outside of the Bandits. So to go back-to-back in orange and black, you then know that a parade's coming, a rally's coming, and I had tickets last minute to the Micah Hyde charity softball game, which was yesterday at Salem Field. And I did not know that prior to that game was going to be a championship rally. So, yes, I was a little frustrated at that. I didn't want to miss the championship rally, and I did. because I was on my way to the softball game. I'm hoping that there is some sort of parade or something like that again that I could go to. The timing of that, to do it one day after they won, prior to the Micah Hyde charity softball game as well. I wish the timing was a little bit better. I do, but nonetheless, I was really happy to be at that charity softball game and just in the vicinity of stuff going on, whether it's the Micah Hyde charity softball game or whether it was the rally for the Bandits celebrating their 6th National Lacrosse League championship. So, of course, this was my first time as well at the Micah Hyde charity softball game. And yes, my first time. I'd missed the previous 3 that they had. I believe this is their 4th. And to say that this was a hell of an event is putting it mildly. This was a amazing event to where you're able to see players interact with one another. You're able to see players that you don't always get to see that up close and personal. Just having a good time, raising money for the community, raising money for Micah Hyde's charity, among many others, players' charities as well. And I saw a lot of familiar faces there. It was really cool to mingle with some really awesome folks at that event. I had a great time, and it was just something that I wanted to hop on here and talk about today. Yes, the sports landscape right now, there isn't many headlines for the Buffalo Bills other than, hey, this team came together for a great occasion, another great community event where the team was all together and the team was able to experience just taking part in the community, raising awareness for charities, raising funds for fundraisers. I thought it was really great. And it was fun to see Buffalo Bills players, whether it's Josh Allen or Anderson, could be the most well-known player to the most recently signed player. It was really cool to see them all together, all in their element, and all just being a team. And I think that's what makes the Bills special, as well as the community that they represent, Western New York, Buffalo, of course. So my biggest takeaway from the event itself were those things that I've already mentioned, but my next biggest takeaway is the simple fact that Josh Allen can hit bombs with the bat. I was blown away. Yes, he had won multiple home run derbies that they had at these events, at this event rather, previous years. Went toe-to-toe with Spencer Brown in the home run derby. This year he went toe-to-toe with A.J. Epinesa. Was very impressed with A.J. Epinesa's swing. There's no doubt about it that he had played baseball before. I did a little research. He had. Josh Allen, I know that he was a baseball player too in high school, so and kind of junior high. So knowing that he had won the home run derby not once, not twice, 3 times, getting him back out there in his element in front of the fans as the superstar quarterback that he is, really was curious to see if he was able to do it again. And within a few swings, there were some pop flies, some line drives, but then it was home run after home run after home run after home run. Whereas I know the difference between hitting a softball and hitting a baseball. Josh Allen was able to loft that softball so far that it hit the top of the left field wall. So that's an easy home run with a baseball. So really excited to be able to take part in that event. The last tidbit that I want to mention is that Jordan Poyer mentioned that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league. So I would agree with that. And I know that that went viral, as it should. Wanted to hop on here, give you guys a little bit of a special edition episode. Great for the community of Buffalo and Western New York to have 2 major events, the Bandits winning the championship and the Micah Hyde charity softball game, which I know raised a ton of money for Micah Hyde's charity and many others in the community. I was happy to be a part of it any way that I could, and I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in to today's special edition episode. Big things happening in Buffalo as we inch closer and closer to Buffalo Bills training camp. I'm Ryan Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Thomas Take Sports Podcast.